What really happened behind those tightly guarded military walls? Why did Jungkook stay silent for days while Taehyung looked like he hadn't slept in weeks? And why is no one talking about the handwritten note found next to Jimin's hospital bed? When fans first heard about Park Jimin being rushed to a military hospital, the internet exploded. The words were simple: fatigue, training, resting, but the silence from the other members screamed something much louder. Something felt wrong. Something was wrong. Days passed. Updates trickled in slowly, as if even the air around the news needed time to breathe. Jimin, one of the most beloved members of BTS, was reported to have collapsed shortly after an intense training session. And then came the questions, the kinds that no official military statement could silence. Where were Taehyung and Jungkook when it happened? What did they know that the rest of the world didn't? Now, after weeks of quiet tension, Taehyung and Jungkook have finally spoken out. Not in a press release, not through a management statement, but through heartfelt, raw, and deeply emotional words that left fans in tears. Their voices are the missing pieces in the puzzle of Jimin's condition. Their stories are laced with guilt, desperation, and a powerful brotherhood that has stood the test of time, fame, and now warlike military rigor. But why did they wait? That answer takes us deep inside a story that's still unfolding. A story layered in secrecy, sacrifice, and the type of love that doesn't make headlines. The collapse that no one saw coming. The first sign that something was wrong didn't come from an official source. It came from a worried fan who noticed that Jimin's name was missing from a military update bulletin that had regularly mentioned his participation in training modules. At first, fans thought it might be a clerical error. But when the silence stretched into days, panic started to bloom. It wasn't until an anonymous source claimed to see Jimin being rushed to a nearby military hospital that the fandom exploded. Hashtags surged across X, formerly Twitter. Petitions demanded updates, and ARMY began analyzing old training photos, looking for signs of stress, fatigue, or anything unusual in Jimin's expression. The official confirmation finally came, but it was vague. HYBE and the South Korean military both issued brief statements. Jimin has been admitted to the hospital due to fatigue following intensive training. He is currently resting and under observation. For some, that might have been enough. But not for Jungkook. And definitely not for Taehyung. Taehyung's silence wasn't just grief, it was fear. In a rare leaked audio clip that fans believe came from a private military chat room, Taehyung was heard whispering something that shook everyone. "I should have said something earlier. I saw how tired he was." The clip is only 12 seconds long, but in those seconds, ARMY heard pain, regret, and something more, a clue. What did Taehyung mean by earlier? Had Jimin shown signs before the incident? Was this a preventable collapse? When Taehyung eventually broke his silence officially, he didn't hold back. Speaking through a digital letter written during his recovery hours, he described Jimin as being unbelievably strong, but too good at hiding his pain. The letter, handwritten in Korean and shared on a fan cafe, carried the emotional weight of someone who'd lost sleep replaying moments in his head, searching for the one he should have acted on. "I thought he was just tired like the rest of us," Taehyung wrote. "But there was something in his eyes the day before. He was there but not really there. And I saw it. I saw it and I said nothing." Fans were heartbroken. But more than that, they were shocked. Because this wasn't just a statement of concern, it was an admission. Taehyung knew something was wrong. Jungkook's reaction wasn't what anyone expected, until now. If Taehyung's heartbreak was loud and trembling, Jungkook's reaction was the exact opposite. He disappeared. In the days following the announcement of Jimin's hospitalization, fans noticed that Jungkook hadn't logged into Weverse, hadn't sent a single message, and hadn't been seen during any scheduled internal drills. Some worried he had gotten sick too. Others thought he was being kept silent by the military chain of command. But what few people knew was that Jungkook had requested a leave, not for himself, but to see Jimin. In a shocking turn of events, revealed through a former military official now speaking anonymously, Jungkook had filed multiple written appeals to visit the hospital, even offering to take disciplinary action in exchange. He was initially denied. But he didn't stop. It took 3 attempts, and 1 direct call from his commander, before Jungkook was allowed to visit Jimin. What happened during that visit would become the subject of endless speculation. But now, Jungkook himself is finally revealing what he saw. "I thought I was ready," Jungkook said in his recent letter. his words trembling with restrained emotion. But when I walked into that room and saw the oxygen monitor blinking next to him, I forgot how to breathe. Jungkook went on to explain that Jimin had lost significant weight, looked pale, and spoke only a few words. He didn't want to make me worry, but he had already carried too much. The letter that changed everything. And then came the letter that a small crumpled note found under Jimin's pillow, written in shaky handwriting, allegedly read, "I'm sorry if I worried anyone. I didn't mean to fall." The note wasn't shared officially, but it found its way to a fan who reportedly worked at the hospital. While many questioned the authenticity, others pointed out that the handwriting matched past notes Jimin had shared with fans. For Taehyung and Jungkook, the letter wasn't a comfort. It was a wound. "He always says sorry," Taehyung later wrote, "even when it's not his fault. That's just like him. And that's what hurts the most. A brotherhood stronger than any uniform." What's happening behind the walls of the South Korean military isn't just about national service. It's about the human toll it takes, especially on those who already carry emotional burdens from years in the spotlight. For BTS, the brotherhood that once brought them together on stage is now being tested in a very different arena. Jungkook recently wrote, "We trained together, we bled together, we endured together. But seeing Jimin like that, helpless, I felt like a part of me collapsed too." And Taehyung echoed the same sentiment, sharing, "I don't care what rules I break. If Jimin needs me, I'll be there. Military or not." Their words weren't scripted. They weren't filtered through a company rep. They were raw, unpolished truths from two young men who have seen their closest friend fall and are now standing up to say something they wish they'd said sooner. "I should have stopped him." The moment that haunted Taehyung. The night before Jimin was hospitalized, Taehyung remembered passing by the open training yard where soldiers practiced drills under dim military lights. It was supposed to be rest time, yet he noticed one figure still moving alone in the shadows. He stopped, squinted. It was Jimin. "I almost called out to him," Taehyung admitted. "But I thought, that's just Jimin. He's always pushing himself. So I walked away." He never forgave himself for that decision that moment. The simple choice to turn back toward his dormitory rather than toward his friend became a point of obsession. For days after Jimin was taken to the military hospital, Taehyung would wake up drenched in sweat, heart racing, dreaming of footsteps echoing in the training yard and the ghost of a voice calling, "Hyung, wait." He had missed the signal, and it shattered him. He wrote in his private diary, later shared anonymously by someone close to the unit, "The silence between us wasn't because we weren't speaking. It was because we didn't know how to say, 'I'm not okay.' And I should have known he wasn't."